Hi everyone, it's Jess, aka Colouring Bumblebee, and I'm back today with another video for you. Today is another instalment of my colouring book collection series. As you can see here, I am going to be looking at all of my Mythographic books today. I absolutely love this series of books, and I have 9 so far. I am really happy with my collection. In terms of any ones I want to add, I like the look of Labyrinth, and I'm tempted with Crystal Kingdom as well, and potentially Rainbow Realms. That one's just been released, and I wasn't overly excited by it by the flip through, but it may be one that grows on me over time. We'll see. But I'm really looking forward to some upcoming ones by Fabiana Attanasio and Joseph Kattenbang. Fabiana's got Fantasy Forest, and Joseph Kattenbang's got Dragonspell. Those both look amazing, and I know I'll be pre-ordering those. But let's move these to the side and get straight into looking at them. So the first book I have, I didn't say at the start, but I'm going to go through these in release order. So the first book I have is Mythographic Paradise, and this is the only Mythographic book that I have with hidden objects in. They used to include hidden objects in all of their books, and I don't mind hidden objects as a concept, but the execution in these books frustrates me. Like, look at this beautiful image, but put in a calculator, a comb, a coffee cup, a science test tube. It really bothers me. So Paradise is the only one I have with the hidden objects. I did think about destashing this one, but I do really love a lot of the images in here. I have started one as a whip, and I went through with a white paint pen on some of the hidden objects and added in the line art with a black pen, black fine liner pen. I'm liking how it's looking, but I felt a bit stuck with what to do next. But you can see these have some absolutely gorgeous images, and I am so glad that a few years ago they decided to stop with the hidden objects, because it just makes the images so much easier and nicer to colour. Yeah, I thought about destashing, but I love so many of these images, and even just keeping it as an art book I think is nice. I love this bee one. I've almost coloured that several times. There's a lot of pages in here that I've been close to colouring and just sort of never quite managed to start because of all the hidden objects. I do like the theme of it and just the creativity of the ideas. So here's the one I started. Looks very bright, but I will be going over it with pencil details. But the idea was to do a dark purple black galaxy sky, and then tie in the colours of the whales with the buildings, and then maybe do some purpley clouds. You can see here, oh, can you see there? I'll hold it up slightly, how I've whited out. I don't think you can see it on camera, but you can see an outline of this CD. Down here you can see a ribbon, and hopefully when I go over with pencil it will cover up okay. But yeah, I need to get back to this page. I just sort of lost motivation with it, but I think it will look nice finished, and it will be my first page done in this book, which will be great to finally have. The only thing I do like about here is how each of the pages have names. I like when pages have names for them. But you've got all of these hidden objects, and this fact that it's 18, 16, 20 hidden objects in a page. It's so many. Why? So that is Mythographic Paradise by Fabiana Attanasio. Next I have Mythographic Voyage by Joseph Kattenbang, and I believe this was the first book released without hidden objects in, and so it's one of the old ones. Here is a page I have done in here. I think this is I've only done one page so far, but looking back I absolutely love it. I spent a long time colouring this lion's fur, love how that turned out. I think I based the petals with, oh no I didn't, it was all completely pencil. Usually I will base it alcohol markers and go over the top, but this is all pencil, all polychromos, and a soft pastel background, and that's a really nice effect there. And I added some of the Spectrum Noir glitter pen, which you can barely see because it's on a light colour, on all of these dandelions, just to add a bit of magical sparkle. Love this page. Did that in February this year. That's the last time first and only time I've coloured in this book, I think. But I love the creativity of these images. Some of them can be hard to distinguish what's going on, but as soon as you put down like a base layer of marker or start colouring some of the items that you know how it wants to look. Love this one with the fox. And it does become easier. It is hard to pick a favourite mythographic because I love so many of them. I think this is a sort of, it's not a favourite, but it's really high up there. They all are, to be honest. I just think that the images are super fun, and I can definitely see myself colouring all of these. Oh, look at that one with the, is that a griffin? Super fun. Fun space theme one. I like this Candyland one, that's fun. There's a lot of movement to these pages. I love this one with the pumpkins. Perfect for the autumn season. Didn't quite get time to colour that this year, maybe next year. I'll have to pick another page to colour in this soon, because it's a shame that I've only done one. I think there's going to be a few books like that in this collection. I love Mythographic, but most of them I've only coloured 1 or 2 pages in. They do take a long time to finish. I put a lot of time and effort into them, but I always love the results. There we have it. That is Mythographic Voyage by Joseph Kattenbang. Next I've got Mythographic Menagerie. This is by Fabiana Attanasio. And this is an interesting book because I absolutely adore some of the pages, but others I'm not so keen on. This elephant one with the bold black lines, not necessarily my favourite. There's a lot of images in this first half that I'm a bit eh. I love the meerkats though. Sort of like a Capricorn, but they're meerkat heads instead of goat heads. Like this armadillo one, I'm not sure how I would approach that. Actually, looking back through, yeah, this one, not so much. And that one, I was about to say, I like more of these than I remembered, but yeah, there's a lot of these ones with cogs. I'm just not sure how I would colour these funky bird humans. I do like the owl. This fox is lovely. Okay, we're getting into some of the images I absolutely adore. This cat one especially. I see it with bright pink flowers and a black and white cat. There's like these bird humans. Very, very strange to me. I love this one with the rainbow. Oh look, its whiskers are little leaves. That's cute. Look at that seal, how adorable. Yeah, this is one of those books where I don't love all the pages, but I like enough to justify having it. This is the one page I've done in it. These magical raccoons I did this time last year. I love how this turned out. There's so much metallic watercolour. I splattered a gold metallic watercolour at the end. Made a right old mess of the opposite page, but used a lot of glitter gel pen for the potions. And then I had a lot of mess around the outside, so I decided to just black it out with a paint pen. It's very streaky looking. Maybe one day I'll go over with my matte black acrylic paint that I've got now. But I love how this turned out. And it was one of the reasons why I felt the need to get this book. Love these two hedgehogs. You have a lot of fun playing with colours with the autumn leaves. Some really nice autumnal pages in this book, actually. Yeah, this latter half of the book I love a lot. This one I really want to get coloured. Look at the giraffe, how stunning. I was going to colour this for Easter this year and I just ran out of time, as I tend to do, but I've got a vision for the page and colours that I'd like to use. And this owl one I absolutely love as well. I see it with purples, dark royal purples. And that's it from Mythographic Menagerie by Fabiana Attanasio. Then I have Mythographic Magical Earth. I think out of all of them, this is probably my all-time favourite. I think I was just getting into mythographic books when this one was released, so it does hold a special place in my heart as one of my first ones I got. Oh, falling apart at the binding there on that page, need to be careful. That is the thing about these mythographic books, with the perforated edges and the glue binding, they do have a tendency to fall apart. Here is one page I've done in here. This enchanted rune rocks with the stag. I based the rocks and the flowers with alcohol markers, went over the top with polychroma pencils, and I used Inktense for the background, so the page is quite rippled, but I don't mind that. I spent a long time on this background. I was quite unhappy with it for some time, but I kept layering it. I wanted to create this sort of glow going out. I do find doing circular gradients really difficult at keeping it even, but I think this gives a nice sort of moonlight glow effect, that magical look to it. And I wanted these rocks to look like they were glowing green, just for something different than what I usually do. I outlined them all with a green glitter gel pen to add some extra sparkle, lots of glitter gel pen for the stars in the background. I think it needs some white paint pen. Paint pen highlights on some bits on the page. That's one page I've done here. I love that tiger page, absolutely adorable. Just some of my favourite ever mythographic pages are in this book. Like this one with the girl in the bottle. The bees, love the bees. This is one of my favourites. I absolutely adore this page. I've seen it coloured so many times, but I've kind of been putting it off because it is one of my favourites. And this one, love that one as well. Oh, this is one I did fairly recently, a few months ago. Kind of forgot about this. I remember I based these terracotta pots with alcohol markers a long time ago because I was just feeling inspired by it one day. I wanted to do some easy alcohol marker colouring. And then I think I showed it as a whip, something like that, in a video. And someone reached out and we did it as a buddy colour to complete. And I really loved the earthy tones of this. And I think I used an inspiration photo for the background. I used soft pastels, fading from this orange to the cream to the peach to the blue. It's okay, the background. I think it could have looked better, but it was the best that I could do with the soft pastels that I have. But I love this page. It's a really fun one. I want to say I've got another page done in this book, but I cannot think of what it is right now. We'll find out together. Look at the bunnies. I love this jellyfish sort of carousel. Yes, here we go. The sleeping dragon. When I saw this page, I wanted to do a dark purple dragon, so I based it with alcohol markers. And I think I used a shade too dark for the base, so the definition is lost somewhat. I had to shade with black pencils for the dragon, and then I used a white pencil for the highlight and the purples. Yeah, if I were to do this again, I would use a lighter colour and then build up my shadows that way. But I really like how these crystals turned out. They look super pretty. I'm not a fan of the background here. I think I could have done that better, but I sort of masked it with lots of glitter gel pen dots around to make it look all magical. And loads coming out the well here, as if it's sort of sparking up magic from inside this dragon's cave. But yeah, this was the first page I actually did in this book. One of my favourites. I've just noticed this book has aviary or AVR. Is that a hint to his next? Was aviary the next one? I think it was by Joseph Cattenbang. Never noticed that. It's like a little Easter egg. Have you ever noticed that? That's really fun. Obviously, you wouldn't know it was an Easter egg until the next book was released. Love that flamingo one. Have a lot of fun with the night sky there. And that is all of the pages in Mythographic Magical Earth by Joseph Cattenbang. Okay, next I've got Mythographic Cosmic Spirit by Fabiana Attanasio. I have done quite a few pages in this book. This is one of my favourites and is a book I'd love to complete one day because I love Zodiac, I love tarot card imagery. I don't necessarily believe in it, but I love the imagery of it and I love colouring it. Oh, I need to colour more of the tarot cards in here. I've only done one so far. But I wanted to go through and start colouring the zodiacs. So I started that last year. I did Aries. And my idea for this book was to find colour palettes for each of the zodiac signs online and base my page on that. I used alcohol markers to base most of the image and shaded over the top with polychromos. I always find the fur in mythographic books turns out really well for me. I think because of all the texture lines they put in just makes it easy for you to add your own shading. I did a few bits of glitter gel pen on these beads here. We've got some gold metallic gel pen on the stars, and for each of these pages I've outlined it with a gold gel pen and done the name of the star sign in gold gel pen and that as well, just to keep it cohesive throughout. So that is Aries. I love this magician page. And then we have a few in here which are non-zodiac and tarot themed. We have Taurus, again another limited colour palette I found online. I really enjoyed colouring this one. It was a very different colour palette for me with this sort of terracotta-y brown, kind of peachy colour, this reddish brown and the olivey green. They look lovely together. I need to use this again someday. I like how the crystals turned out. Again, I use gold, a lot of gold pen for the border, the constellation, and the name of the star sign. He just looks really cool. I love looking back at this. This Empress page is gorgeous, but very intimidating to colour for me, with all these sort of melting icicles. So yeah, we have a few pages like this which aren't themed to anything, just cosmic spirit sort of thing. Then I started the Gemini page. I coloured the background, and that was it. I sort of felt lost on what colour to do the cats. Yeah, I think maybe I wasn't inspired by the colour palettes I was finding for Gemini. So I'll have to look again, maybe for next year, the Gemini season. I like this one with the tree, that's fun. I did Cancer, so I got back onto it. I based with alcohol markers for the whole thing, and then I shaded with polychromos. I love using polychromos in the Mythographic books. I've just had good results every time from it, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And polychromos are my favourite pencils, so if it works in a book, I'm going to be using it. I remember I spent a long time shading the background here, creating sort of shadows underneath each of the objects to create sort of the appearance of depth here. And again, lots of gold metallic paint, gel pen for the constellation and the name Cancer. That's a fun one. I like this strength page. I based Leo, and then I never got to doing the pencil shading. This is probably my least favourite page in the book with all the doodly details, but I just decided to have my limited colour palette, stick with it, use it, and let it flow, let myself mindlessly colour. And I like how I've used the brown for the leaves here to keep it really limited. Not sure about this orange nose. I might go over that with just brown to make it look a little bit more natural. But I do like how it's looking now, and it will look even better when it's done. I have done the Hermit. This is the only tarot page I've done in this book. And for this one, because I'd used lots of cool tone colours, I decided to accent it with a silver gel pen this time. And I've used some metallic watercolour for all these sort of wispy bits. I really enjoyed colouring him in the cloak. I had a clear vision for this page. I wanted to use lots of purples. And I love how it turned out. It makes me want to colour in this book again. Again, I based Virgo. I think I found a colour palette which involved purples, so I did a dark purple for the background, based her skin with a purple. I remember it looking very blotchy, and so I went over her skin again, and so now it's a bit darker. So I'll need to lighten that up with my pencils. I'm not sure what to do for the hair or anything else, so I got a bit lost with this. What's the star sign at the moment? Is it Libra? Or have we gone on to Scorpio? I think it might be Scorpio at the moment. I'm filming this on the 14th of November. This I've seen done with a rainbow background, and I love how it looks. I'd like to do that one day. Yeah, I sort of fell off the wagon with doing a zodiac page each month last year. And then I picked it back up in the new year. So I did Capricorn. I love this one. I love the colour palette. I love all these teal greens. I love teal green as a colour, but I rarely ever colour with it. I used metallic watercolour paint for the swirly bits, gold gel pen for the writing and the stars, based with alcohol markers and shaded over the top with polychromos. Love how it turned out, and super sparkly as well. I think that might be the last page I got done in this book. I started Aquarius, I know. And oh, I don't like how it's turning out, and I'm really sad because this is my star sign. I've got colours written down here for what I used so far. I'm liking the idea of this sort of teal, purple, blue colour scheme. I do just need to finish it. I just need to do it because I know once I get the pencil shading in, it will look fine. But a lot of these lines in the water were really confusing me. You've got the water and you've got these sort of ripply lines. Maybe I just need to go over it all and then go over some of the lines with glitter gel pen or metallic watercolour or something like that. Not sure how I want to colour him yet. But yeah, I'm sad that I haven't got this done, and I don't like how it's turning out because it is my star sign. Oh, I love this one with all the animals here. I rarely ever look at the back of this book. And Pisces is a gorgeous sign there. And that is the end of the book. So I really love this book. Would love to complete it one day. I've done a few zodiac signs, but there's still plenty left to go in Mythographic Cosmic Spirit by Fabiana Attanasio. Next, I've got Mythographic Aviary by Joseph Kattenbang. I know for a fact I've only got one page coloured in this book, so I will try and quickly flip through. I do love this book, but there's so many birds. And that's not always my favourite thing to colour. This was a book that when it was first released and I first saw flip throughs, I was like, no, it's not for me. And then I started to see people colour in it, and I started to love it more and more and more. And I was like, okay, I need this now. I love this peacock page. And the bee page, of course, I love. It is an absolutely stunning book, but yeah, just all the birds and the feathers. It's not one that I gravitate to so much. I really enjoy this page. He does draw birds absolutely beautifully. I'm really looking forward to his dragon book that's coming out next year. Cannot wait for that. And I'm excited to see how he's interpreted. Love this page. I see it as a black swan. I look forward to seeing how he interprets and draws the dragons. This one's really cute with all the terrariums. I know that the page I've coloured is the last one in this book, so take a while. I wanted to colour this last month. It got picked by the randomizer, but I just didn't get time. I was really sad about it actually. And I won't get time to colour it this month either. So, and I had a really nice autumnal colour palette in mind for it. That's okay, we'll save it for next year. Love this page with the lion and the butterfly. See that with lots of golds, metallic details. These penguins are super cute. Love them. And this is the only page I've done, the blossom deer. The birds don't have much definition to them. They look quite flat and boring to me. But I like how the fur of the deer turned out. I like how the blossom looks. And the background I did with a soft pastel, which isn't showing up too well on camera, but is a nice sort of peachy, creamy tones to it. But yeah, that is Mythographic Aviary by Joseph Kattenbang. And then we have another one of my favourites. This is Mythographic Fairy Wonderland by Fabiana Attanasio. And I have coloured a couple pages in this. I think they're all at the front actually. This was the first one I did. One of my favourite pages I've ever coloured. I love the colour scheme. I love that I used an olive green for the background. I love all the metallic watercolour details, especially on her wings. I used this sort of iridescent-y, pinky green shifting colour. Looks super pretty. So I love that one. Then the other page I've got done is near the start as well. I have an idea to do lots of monochrome pages in here because I did this pink monochrome page, which I absolutely love how it turned out. It's looking a bit oversaturated on camera, but in real life there's a nice depth and definition. I always find that reds go oversaturated on camera and I can never capture them properly. But I mocked this up on my iPad. I picked out a pink monochrome colour palette, placed the colours on the page to see how I liked how they were distributed, and then copied it into the book. And because of this, I've gone through and put down some sticky notes of ideas for monochromatic colour palettes for other pages. And they are just ideas at this point. I may change my mind. I may change it to a different colour, so I thought this would look good in blue monochrome. But it is fun going through a book and thinking, ooh, what monochromatic colour palettes could I use? Because it is a nice challenge. This I saw as greens with like a chartreusey lemon colour for these lanterns. I thought that would look really pretty. But this book I had a lot of troubles with. I pre-ordered it on Amazon, and in the UK, Mythographic books are always released a month later than in America on Amazon UK. So I had to wait an extra month. Then on the day it was meant to arrive, I got an email thinking, oh yay, it's going to say it's been shipped. I'm so looking forward to it. No, it says it's been delayed and that they don't have any in stock. This is my favourite page from the whole book. So I waited and waited and waited, emailed them, like contacted the customer services, and I was like, look, it's been a month. Where is it? I can order it now. And they were like, oh, but that's from a third party, blah, blah, blah. Sure enough, a couple of days later, mine finally got shipped. And it just frustrates me that you can pre-order a book and they don't have it sort of prepared for you. They don't have it there waiting in the warehouse for you. Why on the day it's meant to arrive do they then say, oh, it's not available anymore? You should have known that ages ago because it's a pre-order. Yeah, so I was very frustrated at that. I now no longer pre-order Mythographics off from Amazon. I go to Blackwell's in the UK, which release the same time as America does. And I've had no issues from them. Look at that little cat. So that is my recommendation to you all. Don't order or pre-order Mythographic books from Amazon. Go to Blackwell's. Yeah, I do like the idea of filling this book up with lots of different monochromatic colour palettes. And there's a book I would love to complete one day. So this is Mythographic Fairy Wonderland by Fabiana Attanasio. Okay, almost there, guys. 2 books to go. We have Mythographic Wild Summer by Joseph Kettlebang. And this has to be one of my favourite book releases for 2024. I do love every single page in this book and is one of my favourite mythographics. I've just noticed it's sewn bound, this one, so you can crack the spine with no fears that the pages are going to fall out. But aren't these pages just absolutely beautiful? And even though it's called Wild Summer, a lot of the pages aren't necessarily summer themed. I have this started as a whip. I have it planned as a buddy colour with, I think it's Rachel Colours Crafts. If I'm wrong, I'll put it on the screen, but I'm pretty sure it's Rachel. And we started it together in the summer, and then I think her life got a bit busy. I got a bit lost. I've based it with alcohol markers and I think a Tombow dual brush pen for the brown elements, shaded with polychromos for the honeycomb in the pot. And now I've just got to start doing all this honey, and oh, there's so much honey. I'm just not looking forward to it. Not sure what colour to do for the flowers or the background or the clouds yet, or this little tag here. But that I've got sat as a whip for when I next feel inspired by this. What was I saying before that? Yeah, I would colour this book all year round, I think. Not necessarily in the summer. But there are some which are definitely summer inspired. In fact, a lot that are definitely summer inspired, but I don't think you necessarily need to colour them in the season. This was the first page I did, the watermelon panda page. Love how this turned out. It was a lot of fun to colour. Quite an easy page to colour as well, because there wasn't too much thought that needed to go into it. The panda's going to be black and white, water's going to be blue, watermelon's going to be green and reddish pink, and the bamboo is a green. And it was just the background that I had to decide on a colour, and I thought a nice bright yellow would pop against everything. Absolutely love how it turned out. Used alcohol markers to base and shaded over the top with polychromos. Oh, I forgot I did this page as well. I had a feeling I'd done 2 pages in here. I did this dogs and windmills and wheat page. I love how it turned out. There's so much sparkle on this page as well. Use metallic watercolour on these sort of wispy bits and glitter gel pen. Not glitter gel pen, the Spectrum Noir clear glitter pen on the butterfly wings, which I think you can slightly see there on the butterfly wings, and these dragonfly wings as well. So it's super sparkly and pretty, but I found a colour cue palette that I wanted to use for here with blues, yellows and sort of browns colours, and it was quite simple to map out the colours. I was a bit unsure on the composition of this page, and it isn't until I saw a finished page online that I was like, oh, she's dreaming, and this at the top is her dream and down the bottom is the reality. So I wanted to create a nice contrast between the two, sort of bright and sunny up here, dark and at night time down here, and I think it looks really effective. Love that page. Just every page I colour in a mythographic I'm always happy with. They just seem to always turn out really well. Love this page with the elephant ears, with the butterflies, I should say. Yeah, this is definitely a must-have mythographic. Sorry, just had to pause there. I was saying this is definitely a must-have mythographic book in everyone's collection, in my opinion. I think it's quite approachable to colour. Like, some of them can be so detailed it's overwhelming, but this has a good mix of detail but large objects for you to colour, and the images themselves are quite clear. They tell a really fun story. I just love it. I love this book, and it's definitely up there with my favourites of all time, but I'm not sure if that's because of sort of the recency bias, the fact that this is quite a new mythographic. It was released this summer. I want to say, was it July? When did I colour the first page? I coloured the first page in June. So it must have been around late May, early June, someone like that. So that is Mythographic Wild Summer by Joseph Kattenbang. And the final mythographic I have is Mythical Beasts. This is by Veronica Kalinska. And I really love this book. I went through, she did a few Instagram reels where she went through the book and named all of the mythical creatures. So I went through and made myself an index here. I have done 1 page so far, but I think her art style is gorgeous. I love the creatures. I love colouring mythical creatures just in general. I think it's really fun. You could do lots of different colours. And I think this line work is just stunning. I'm colouring this page at the moment. It is very nearly finished. I've just got the gems to shade, these light rays to sort out, and then do lots of glittery gel pen details on the top for these pearls. And that will be done. I just think all these creatures are so beautiful, and it's a nice variety of different images as well. This is the first page I did, one of my favourite pages I've ever coloured. I based with alcohol markers. In fact, these clouds were coloured only with alcohol markers. I picked a few sunsetty colours and blended them together. I think I did 2 layers of each of them. Love how it looks. I wanted to keep the Pegasus itself quite simple with white and gold accents, and lots and lots and lots of gold metallic paint on the top and I splattered it at the end. Made a bit of a mess around the edges. I did try my best to prevent that, but it's okay. I love how it looks. But yeah, there's a lot of pages in here that I'm looking forward to colouring. And I will soon have 2 pages done in this book. Love this one. This little lion guy, he's so cute. I think this is a bit of an underrated one. I don't see many people talking about this one, but there are such gorgeous pages in it. I love this little gnome village. That looks so fun to colour. There's a couple which are a bit kind of spooky scary, but you don't have to colour those. That's fine. Just move on. This one's a bit creepy, but I think there's enough images in here to justify it. Absolutely. So that is Mythographic Mythical Beasts by Veronica Kalinska, and the final book in my Mythographic collection. So do let me know in the comments which was your favourite Mythographic book, not just from this video, but of all time. It can be one that I don't own. I don't own all of them. There are so many Mythographic books. But let me know which is your favourite. I think my favourite would have to be, if you ask me right now, I'm going to pick Magical Earth. I think just over time, it has stood the test of time of being my favourite. Ask me on a different day, I might change my answer, because they're all so beautiful, stunning and amazing. But I look forward to hearing what your favourite is. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone.